Assalamu alaikum, good morning dear students, and welcome to a new lesson about another type of essays. Today we'll try to study the comparison and contrast essay. Comparison and contrast pattern of writing. Now here we have two key terms which are comparison, from to compare, and contrast. Now what do we mean by to compare, or comparison and contrast? Compare means when you explain and show similarities or likenesses. Clear? How two items are similar. Clear? When we compare, we show how two things are similar. By contrast, contrast means to explain and to show differences. Clear? We show differences between the items we are tackling or contrasting in our essay. Clear? So when we say compare, it means similarities. When I say contrast, it means differences. So what do we do in this type of essays? Do we compare, only show similarities, or do we only contrast, show only differences, or do we both compare and contrast? In fact, in this pattern, you are free as a writer to choose the style you want. Clear? Because in this pattern of writing, you can tackle only similarities. You compare between your items only by showing our similarities, or also you can contrast your items. It means in your essay speak only about the differences between your items, or also you are free to combine both. It means you show both similarities and differences between the items you are tackling and explain in your essay, right? But the commonest type, right, and the basic structure, in fact, which is widely used within this pattern, is when you combine comparison and contrast. It means you try to show how two or three or more subjects are similar. Right, you show their similarities, and then you show their differences, or vice versa. You start by showing their differences, and then their similarities. So as a writer, this pattern encompasses all these three styles. That's why you are free to choose what you want, but the commonest structure, which is indicated even by its title, it's comparison and contrast. Combines both similarities and differences. Right, good. That's why if you want to come up with a comprehensive definition of this essay or type of organization, we can say that a comparison and contrast essay is a piece of academic writing which explains and shows how two or more items, they can be two and they can be also more, clear? How two or more items, whether they are two people or more, two places or more, two things or more, two animals or more, two buildings or more, and so on and so forth. How these two, items or more are similar, clear, and or different. Clear? And or different. It means how they are similar, or how they are different, or both. How they are similar and different. Of course here, depending on certain points of comparison and or contrast. And these points represent the aspects the points we depend on. We depend on to infer, and to come up with the aspects of similarity and the aspects of difference. Clear? For example, I would like to tackle two subjects, which are two cities, through this pattern of writing, comparison and contrast. So here I'm going to focus on three main points with which I can compare, show similarities, and I show or contrast, show differences depending on these points. Clear? Example, two cities. I can compare and contrast them on the basis of their location. Clear? Also their people or population, and also their climate. So here, as a writer, I'm required to show the similarities and or differences between city A and city B. Clear? Two cities. In terms of location, number one. Then, in terms of people, population, they are similar. I will explain. They are different. I will explain. And also in terms of climate, if they are similar, I will explain. If they are different, I will explain. Right. Also, if I want to tackle my topic, which has the form of, for example, two people, two persons, clear, two persons, I may compare and contrast them, or contrast them, depending on the following points. Their physical appearance, to show how they are similar or different. Their hobbies and interests, to show how they are similar or different. And also their ways of thinking, or their mindsets, to show how they are similar or different in terms of these 3 points. Now, as you see here, these things or items I am comparing or contrasting are called my subjects. Clear? They are my subjects. So always in this pattern of organization, whenever I want to write an essay of comparison and contrast, I must always think first about these points of comparison or contrast, which represent the basis, on which I'm going to build my comparison and my contrast processes. Clear? So, depending on these points, I will show the similarities as well as the differences. Clear? One by one. Clear? That's why it is recommended that in this pattern of writing in particular, we must follow what we call the method of the 4 P's. If you want to write this pattern of writing, this essay of comparison and contrast, you have to consider the 4 P's method. Now, these are 4 words which start with P, and each one represents a key step, a key stage, and key element we need to consider when writing this pattern of organization. First P represents purpose. Purpose. It means as a writer, you have to decide your purpose. Whether I'm going to compare between your subjects, show similarities, or contrast your subjects by explaining the differences, or both of them, compare and contrast, similarities and differences. Second P represents points. It means here, if you want to compare or contrast or both, I have to think about and come up with the points or the focus, right, on which I'm going to build my comparison and contrast, on which I'm going to show the similarities and differences, the points which we mentioned earlier, for example. Clear? In terms of population, in terms of climate, in terms of environment, and so on and so forth. Third P represents the pattern. In this way of organization, comparison and contrast essay, we have 2 major patterns or styles, which we will see now, inshallah, second part of the lesson. We have block style and we have point by point style. Briefly, block style, it means what? You write your introduction, then you write first block to develop hourly similarities between your subjects. Then second block contains hourly differences between your subjects, or vice versa. You start the first block hourly about differences, then you move on to similarities. Then you write your own conclusion. In point by point structure, here the writer in the body is going to develop as many paragraphs as the number of points. He will devote what? A paragraph for every point. And he will compare or contrast how the two subjects are similar or different with regard to this point. For example, first paragraph in the body will be about location of city A and city B. Explain how the location is similar between them and how it is different. Clear? Then, point B, population. How population is similar or different among the two cities. Then, point 3, third paragraph, will be about climate. I will show how these two cities are similar or and different in terms of the climate together. Clear? Then I will conclude. So you are free to choose one of these patterns. Good. And the last P represents presentation. Clear? It means here you have to come up with your outline. Presentation outline, and you write down your essay, depending of course on the previous 3 P's. Clear? 3 P's, and mainly the points and the aspects of similarity and or difference. Right. Good. Now, when we say you compare and contrast 2 or more subjects or items, here we must bear in mind that they should be comparable subjects that belong to the same class. For example, 2 cities, 2 types of houses, 2 persons, 2 vehicles, I don't know, 2 institutions, 2 systems, but be logical in your comparison and in the choice of your subjects. Clear? Because the subjects represent your topic here. But don't compare things which are, I don't know, far from each other in terms of logic. For example, you compare, I don't know, clothes with person, or I don't know, car with a house. So things are here illogical. Clear? So be logical in the choice of the items you are comparing and contrasting, or what we call them, the subjects of your essay. Also, you have to be objective in your comparison and contrast. It means you come up with the points which are factual points, not emotional things you like or dislike. Clear? There should be, if you can say, common points between the two. Exist in both or in my subjects. Then I will show similarities or differences with regard to them. And this also should be facts. Similarities and differences should be facts. Clear? Not just mere opinions only. Clear? You can use opinions, but usually when we have 2 items, it means I'm going to hear what? What's the major aim from this type of essays? It is to convince the reader. It's not written randomly like this. Comparison and contrast essay is meant to convince the reader that something is better or something is less than something else in quality or in something. Clear? So here, when I try to express these similar differences, I am coming up with evidence. Clear? With factual proofs. Right? Clear? Which show that this one, how it is different or how it is similar to the other one. Clear? And these similar differences will show the reader why this is better, this is worse, this is clear, less important, this is things like that. Clear? Good. Because that's why we said before in our previous lesson that also the comparison and contrast pattern of writing belongs to expository writing, because if we expose facts about our subjects, We expose facts about how the points among these subjects are similar or different. Clear? Express your opinion a little bit, but don't exaggerate in expressing your opinion and in using emotional language. I like it, it's great, this one is better, this one is good, this one is fascinating. Not enough. Mention why it's good, why it's bad. Clear? Example, people, location, climate, environment. Clear? Size, color. Mention things which are factual to the reader. He can perceive and conceive. Clear? To convince him of your choice among these two items you are comparing and contrasting. Right? Good. Of course, here in this type of essay also we need to order our ideas and our points, right? Of course, logically. That's why if we notice here that this pattern of writing combines two ways of ordering. We have here order of importance. Order of importance vis-a-vis or towards our points. We should always order our points from the most important to the least important, or vice versa. From the least important to the most important. Clear? Logically. Right. And at the same time, the fact that we come up, or we have come up with 3 points to compare or contrast between or among my subjects, here also I have used logical division of ideas. It means I have tried to come up with 3 points, as if 3 classes or 3 elements among my subjects, but I tend to compare and contrast them on the basis of these points. That's why it combines here order of importance and logical order or division of ideas. Clear? Of ideas. My points developed through logical division of ideas. Clear? And they are also ordered with regard to their importance and even my aspects of similarity, aspects of difference. They are ordered from the most important to the least important, or vice versa. Clear? Good. Now, how can I order my ideas, my points, my aspects of similarity and difference in a logical way? Of course, here I need to use the appropriate transitions. And in this type of essays, we need 3 types of transition signals. Number 1, those which represent or indicate or express comparison. It means similarity, like as, like, similar to, don't know, likewise, similarly, also, both, to, both of them, clear, as, and so on. Also, I need to use for differences, when I want to contrast. First one is for comparison. Contrast, I need to use also signals or transitions which indicate and express differences, like but, yet, however, although, by contrast, on the contrary, on the other hand, whereas, clear, and also many other items or transitions which express differences. At the same time, also, I need the transitions of order. It means first point, mainly to introduce your points, clear. And also the aspects of similarity and aspects of difference. Second, in addition, also, besides, next, and so on. So here I have 3 types of transitions I need to use and to integrate into my comparison and contrast essay. Okay, good.